The Mig Switch is getting weirder and weirder every day, and I'm wondering if I'm the only one willing to give it to you straight. Let's find out today on It's All Dug in Games. Hey folks, it's Doug from It's All Dug in Games. Well, a lot of new information has emerged about the Mig Switch Flashcard for the Nintendo Switch. Now, to quickly recap my previous video on this device, I did express doubt that this was going to be an actual shipping product, that it was as advertised originally. I openly speculated this might actually be a crypto-style rug pull, not necessarily for end users, but for the people who are wannabe distributors of the product. Now, in the week and a half since my original video was posted, we have a lot of new information that's come to light, and if I don't say so myself, virtually all of it continues to support my original suspicions. So let's get started with the biggest piece of news, I think, that's come out about the Mig Switch. And I know this has been covered exhaustively by all the other content creators talking about this, so I'll keep it to a minimum because you know the basics. Originally, the Mig Switch was advertised and given the primary use case as being a way that with an unmodified, unhacked, unjailbroken Switch, you, the completely legal, above-board video game enthusiast, could back up your legally purchased cartridges and legally play backups of those cartridges on a flash card. Totally above board. That's the use case for the Mig Switch, right? Well, in order to do that, you need two pieces of hardware. Of course, you need the flash card that you can have the SD card with your legally backed up games, but you also need a device to dump your existing legally purchased Nintendo Switch cards without the need to hack or jailbreak or somehow modify your existing Switch. Well, there's the problem, because it turns out that suddenly that second piece of hardware, which was originally advertised as being, sold together as the Mig Switch, is now suddenly, who knows when it's going to come out. It's been delayed. Rumor and innuendo about everything from chip shortages to design issues to whatever. But the bottom line is you can't actually pre-order both devices now. If you already did, I guess you're going to have to talk to whomever you sent money to and work it out. But there's not even a timetable anywhere on either the official Mig Switch site or on any of the many distributors that have popped up, and we'll get to that in just a bit. So I'm not going to say it's vaporware, but with no promise of when that's going to show up, I don't know. I'm quite frankly a skeptic. So in my mind, 50% of the original hardware that was promised has sort of not completely evaporated, but I'm having my serious doubts. So that's one piece of the puzzle. But I want to talk about some things that I don't see other people talking about who are covering the Mig Switch. And this is where it gets interesting. And dare I say, I think that part of this problem with maybe the underreporting on some of the details that don't paint the Mig Switch in the best light comes from folks realizing, and I'm not necessarily blaming these content creators. They have large audiences. I'm a tiny channel that just started. I don't have an audience yet. So I don't have to worry about the ramifications of telling an audience what they need to hear versus what they desperately want to hear. You see, folks desperately want to believe in the Mig Switch, that it's going to happen and that it's going to be available and they're going to be able to totally play their legally backed up games that they totally bought and totally not pirated games, as I've been instructed extensively in the comments from my first video. I was set straight, believe me. Well, anyhow, I think that a lot of content creators are glossing over some of the things that might cast doubt on the Mig Switch because they don't want to piss off their audience and get ratioed and get all sorts of ramifications for that. But again, I have the freedom as a new channel to tell it to you like it is without fear of recrimination from a large audience. So let's dive in and start looking at some things. Now, I noticed on Twitter, or X, if you will, here's an example of someone from mainland China, who is self-identified is the point of contact if you would like to pre-order the Mig Switch or maybe be a distributor. Mainland users who want to reserve Mig Switch, please contact me, the official distributor. So the implication here is that Simon is somehow either affiliated with or reached out to the Mig Switch folks and is the official distributor for mainland China. Now, when I look at Simon's X account, I see that Simon has been a Twitter user since July 2022, but has 0 followers and follows all of 6 people. So not a heck of a lot of activity with Simon here. And I'm just kind of curious, who are the 6 people that Simon is following? Because this is just something I do. I go and I look down and I see here's the 6 people Simon's following. 5 of them are associated with the National Basketball Association or the NBA itself. And we've got superstars like Stephen Curry, LeBron James. Now, if I did have no conscience, I would title this video, "Is LeBron James involved with the Mig Switch?" But I do have a conscience, so I won't do that. Anyhow, basketball stars, the NBA, and then a 6th account, mysteriously, called Rose Picking. And so, all right, now I'm going down the rabbit hole, and I got to find out who or what is Rose Picking. And oh boy, surprise, surprise, it turns out Rose Picking is an account that seems to talk a lot about investing in markets and almost very heavy on crypto. So a crypto kid, apparently, is somehow very closely connected to Simon, is one of the only basketball stars, the only non-basketball stars, the only that Simon follows. So that I thought was interesting to me because originally in my first video, again, I said this could be the kind of thing that is very tantalizing to people that are into crypto. Crypto folks kind of, well, as a rule, get ripped off all the time by rug pulls because they're always hoping that they get in on the ground floor of that next great altcoin that they're going to get rich this time, just like Bitcoin and Ethereum early adopters did. So I kind of actually feel for Simon. I wonder if Simon is just someone that drank the Kool-Aid just like he's probably consumed the Kool-Aid on various crypto scams and has sent money and is hoping for the best. So, Simon, my heart goes out to you, buddy. I certainly hope this works out well for you. Another tweet I want to bring up, and I don't know, at the moment, the time of recording this, I don't believe anyone else has covered this, so might be the first. Now, there's a Twitter or X user named Khaled Ahmed who made a very interesting tweet very recently saying, here's a surprising fact that most don't know about the Mig Switch. The wholesale price is actually $36. So no wonder the price keeps dropping from some shops when competition launched their shops. They profit almost 45%. And Khaled had included a partial screenshot from what appears to be an email communique back and forth with the Mig Switch folks. What I'm presuming is going on here, and I reached out to Khaled for clarification, and I'll let you know in a follow-up later. It appears that Khaled had reached out to the Mig Switch folks on their contact form on their website and I guess inquired about being a distributor and got this email back. Now, the tantalizing details, if this is true, I have no way to confirm any of this, right? This is speculation. But if this is all legit, the Mig Switch people are telling folks who want to be prospective distributors that the wholesale price is $36 per unit, with a minimum order of 50 units. So for those who don't have calculators embedded in their skulls, that's $1,800. The minimum commitment, financial commitment to someone is $1,800. They also indicated if you want to be listed as an official reseller on our website, just tell us so once and then it cut off. We don't know what the rest of that sentence is. I'm going to make an educated guess, again, if this is all legit, that what they're offering is that if you send them the money and they received it, they will throw you a link to whatever web presence or storefront that you've set up to try and resell these and list you. And we're going to get to that in just a moment. So a minimum commitment of close to $2,000 for anyone that wants to roll the dice on this. So very interesting. So my congrats and thanks to Khaled Ahmed for being courageous enough to go and do the investigative journalism. I'm wondering if Khaled or anyone else who goes down this road is willing to tell us what do they want the payment process to be? Is it you send crypto somewhere, which I don't know, but I would bet that that's probably a good chance that's how this goes. Or, are you sending a fund somewhere where there's effectively no recourse for you if things, go south or there's a rug pull involved here? So very, very interesting information, in my humble opinion. Now, speaking of the Mig Switch official site, they, of course, have been doing a lot of updates recently, clarifying, of course, that the Mig dumper is not bundled and who knows when it's going to come out and all that good stuff. But they've also added on their website a list of official where to buy links. So these, again, based on what we're seeing, if we believe the reporting, and I don't see any reason why Khaled is not credible. It looks credible to me. So the process most likely goes where you reach out to Mig Switch, you say, hey, I want to be a distributor, and they tell you it's going to be a minimum $1,800 commitment. I'm going to assume you send them money on faith, and then in return, as a goodwill gesture, they'll put whatever website you want to give them on this where to buy page on Mig Switch, and it's on you to set up the pre-ordering and all that. That's all on you. So you send them money. You can do whatever you want basically in terms of selling it. They did say that they had a recommended price of $65, but recommended to me means price it however you want. And they're hands off at that point. That's what makes this kind of suspicious is that, hey, we got nothing to do with how you resell it. We're just selling you some cards. So anyhow, I wanted to take a look at some of these brand new, some existing sites that have incorporated the Mig Switch, and some brand new ones have just popped up because there's some real gems here, if I don't mind saying here in the where to buy section. The first one I thought was adorable was the Canadian distributor when they call themselves Mig Witch without the S. Not sure why. I guess that was maybe an easy way to get a URL. Now, this is noteworthy because I think these guys are actually smart about this. They have indicated that their current pre-order is sold out, and when you go to to look at trying to get a pre-order, it tells you that they have already sold the existing allotment that they have in their own words, waiting to receive the hardware before taking more orders. So this almost feels like they may have made the minimum order, seeing that's the most they're willing to lose on this, and they're going to wait and see if they actually receive anything before proceeding. So they might be the smartest of the folks taking this gamble so far. So kind of tip of the hat to the folks in Canada. The next one I want to show you, which I thought was kind of it was amusing, a resell partner in the Netherlands, iDevice Parts, which is apparently an existing business, but they created a little subpage on their existing business for the Mig Switch, and I just have to say I love the moxie and the marketing here. Crafted with excellence, with a little globe icon, proudly developed and produced in the Russian Federation, Mig Switch is a testament to innovation and quality. With our 2024 copyright, we assure you of a product built for gamers by gamers. Okay. That's pushing it a little hard, don't you think? I mean, I think this is the kind of product where, look, if someone is a believer and they want to believe, you don't need to sell it that hard. They're going to want this thing to play their completely legal, totally backed up, and not pirated games. And I love it with their 2024 copyright. Like, if they had an old one, the product would have sucked. Like, what about having a 2024 copyright makes my product good? That's what I'm wondering. But anyhow, I digress. So another fun example, this one, again, also made me chuckle, was... there is, in Mexico, a website that apparently sells like cosplay props, like costuming props called Geek Props MX. And so they apparently signed up and rolled the dice. And rather than have like a unique page for this, they just put the Mig Switch right there on their store, like in the middle of a bunch of cosplay masks. So it's like a bunch of masks and stuff and props. And then, also there's the Mig Switch pre-order. So some of these are more effort than others. But again, what's interesting though is it kind of reinforces the theory here that the way this works is that people that wanted to take the gamble on this sent money and got a link and are going to take pre-orders and hope that, cross their fingers, that this actually works out. Now, the last shop that popped up recently that is actually very interesting, and it is not just the comedic nature of this, is a Mig Switch Store based out of the U.S. Now, there's a couple really interesting points I want to make here about the U.S.-based Mig Switch Store. Number one, whoever is behind it, very bold, very daring. It's a Shopify store. It's using the Shopify e-commerce platform. You can even apparently finance your Mig Switch pre-order using the Shopify financing option, any credit cards. Now, why do I think this is compelling? One, whoever is doing this is very daring because you have to be a traceable person. To set up a Shopify account. That Shopify has your real name, address, all sorts of verification is involved. You can't just, sign up to Shopify as John Doe. So that's bold right there. And I say that because no matter what regardless of how you feel about these devices and whether they're legal or not, it's irrelevant, okay? I'm not going to argue with anyone that is for or against piracy or any of that. Again, that's not the argument. What matters here and is relevant is whether you agree or not, the facts on the ground are that the United States government has a law called the DMCA, the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. And inside that, there is provisions that say devices that can be used to circumvent copyright are forbidden. And at the end of the day, you don't have to agree with whether that's right or wrong, but if you are an American openly advertising what is clearly going to be seen in courts, whether you like it or not, as a circumvention device, that's pretty bold. and I wonder how quickly and how easily it will be for said folks who enforce said laws to have a little chit-chat with Shopify and find out exactly who's behind this site. Now, the other part that is compelling to me, and this also makes me wonder if perhaps this is connected to the original Mig Switch people or someone who themselves is trying a maybe secondary rug pull. Allow me to explain. You can order in a single Mig Switch for $59, okay? Or pre-order, of course, because we don't know if it's ever going to develop. These folks are very bold. They're also selling 20 packs of Mig Switch, which is clearly no one needs 20 of them. So they're now saying, if you want to be a distributor, send us $1,100. That's what they're charging. And it's interesting. It's a save more. It was originally $1,300, but now they're charging $1,100 for 20 of these. Now, for those, again, who don't have calculators embedded in their brain, that comes down to $55 per unit. So what they're proposing here, if you want to get in on the game and be a distributor of the Mig Switch, for something they're selling for $59 a pop, they will sell you for $55 times 20. So you have potentially the profit margin of $4 a unit times 20. If you sell all 20 and take the risk from 20 different times that you don't accidentally sell it to a Fed or some shenanigans happen, that you can make a whopping $80. for that much risk. And that's not even taking into account the fact that's not really true. It's less than 80 because I didn't take into account whatever they're going to charge you for shipping on this bundle of 20, again, if it even arrives. So there is so many people on both ends of this, like people that are taking on faith that they're sending the people behind the Mig Switch thousands of dollars. And again, going back to the official list of where to buy, if I'm reading the room correctly, these are all people that have sent at least $2,000, if not much more. So a lot of money has been collected on faith. And I wonder if at some point, again, I'm going to continue with my theory, I would not be surprised if this is a giant rug pull and all these poor folks are going to be left high and dry, and potentially they in turn will have left other people high and dry by trying to pre-sell in turn large quantities of things to other people. So I got to tell you, I remain fiercely a skeptic when it comes to the Mig Switch situation here. I will be the first that will come out and say I was wrong if you have all the end users that pre-ordered this receive this product in hand. I'll be the first to say, all right, I was wrong. It appears that it's a real thing. It is what it is. That's fine. I'll also say, in closing, well, again, I at this point, and especially after the first video, I've been getting completely scorched in the comments about how dare I imply there's anything wrong with software piracy. And by the way, none of us are actually doing that. At the end of the day, I'm not your dad. I'm not the government. I don't care if you pirate Nintendo Switch games. That's between you and yourself, your own personal moral compass. What I will say, it's a little disingenuous to try to imply and gaslight yourself into thinking that the main use case for the Mig Switch is completely above board backing up of your software that you bought and paid for. Come on. Let's at least be honest about that. This is going to be 99% used for pirating Switch games. And if you can't bring yourself to accept that, I don't know if I can help you. But then again, I'm just a YouTuber. I'm not your shrink. And with that, I'm going to shrink up and go off into the ether until our next video. So thank you for sticking around and watching this presentation. Please let me know in the comments how you feel about the situation. Again, boy, the comments of the first video were spicy. I'm expecting the comments here to be even spicier. And I'm curious to see if people are starting to maybe come around a little more to how I see it, or if they're going to hold the line and calling me a complete clown show. That's fine too. It's all engagement, folks. And on that note, it is all Doug in Games. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you enjoy the cut of my jib, and I'll see you next time.